I'm gonna start from Ebony's side.
Okay.
Go around, introduce yourselves, and what role you play in the industry.
Yep. All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is A+, Operations Manager for Radio 1 Cleveland. I program Z1079, 93.1 WCAK, Praise 94.5, and News Talk, WERE as well.
A lot of jobs for sure. I'm Quincy Big Heff Taylor, Capital Structure, VP of the Nerve DJs. I'll make shit happen.
Big Heff. My name is DJ Johnny O. Thank you. The OG of this game, 77 to now. I do it all. I guess I can say it like that. I do a little bit of everything, I'll put it that way. We do radio, mixtapes, promotions, Zoom calls, everything an artist needs to get his shit or her shit out there. And make sure y'all get a drink. We have over 5,000 active DJs worldwide. So salute, thank you. The Nerve DJs, NerveDJsMixtapes.com. Nerve DJ Institute is our nonprofit. We just signed a big contract with the Juvenile Justice Center to keep the disenfranchised youth off the streets by teaching them how to become DJs and broadcasters. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
What up, though? My name is Drew Raj, representing Detroit. And the legendary Def Jam Records in the house. Ain't nothing else need to be said. Here we go. Let's go.
What up, y'all? I'm Dorian, Vice President and Partner of Hitmaker Music Group, and also the Senior Vice President of S24, which is the King Griffey Company with Nike.
Good afternoon, Azim Rashid, Cleveland native. 25-year music executive, artist, radio guy. Currently a serial entrepreneur, have a clothing line, partnership with my wife and her friends in the liquor company, as well as my own marketing company called The Alchemy Group. And I'm just here so I don't get fined.
My name is Tone Lowe, marketing promotions for DJ Connect app. If any artists and DJs in the room have not downloaded DJ Connect app, please do so today. This is one of the best features you can have as an artist or a DJ. Also running a couple contests coming up, including some bigger ranking things. I can't say too much more than that, but y'all stay tuned in. If you have not downloaded this yet, it's at the DJ Connect app. And if you don't have a Connect, feel free to follow mine at the DJ Connect app.
E.T. What's up, y'all? My name is Crisis.
Crisis!
What's up, man? Chill. Chill out, bro. Chill. Hey, but yeah, I'm an on-air personality, Z1079, as well as the Big Heff Radio Show. Chill, squirt. I love you forever. Yeah, man, I'm also just a young face like y'all, so I'm just as intrigued to hear some of these answers as much as y'all are, so let's get to it.
All right, so let's get to it. My name is Ebony. I'm with the Big Heff Radio Show. A lot of times I say I'm Ebony with an I because that's how my mama spelled it. So I just want to make sure y'all don't put the Y at the end. I wanted to ask the first question to Azim because he's in the industry, right? And I've seen him on these conference calls that DJ Johnny O do, right? And he bring these real good artists. And I wanted to know, when you wake up in the morning and you get your day started, what's your plan for finding that artist? How are you putting it together to attack finding the artist and working with the artist?
Well, thank you for the question. My plan is just to go out and be the best I can be. I don't necessarily do A&R, but obviously at this point in the game, artists come to me. But as far as the artists that I market and promote, I look to find artists who want to work hard, who want to win. And everybody says they want to win, but the key is, are you willing to do what it takes to win? I think we all on Coach Prime's, Instagram now, see all the motivation he gives. And a lot of what he says is true. When I speak to young people and artists specifically, We talk about euphemisms and sayings, and old sayings become old sayings for a reason. So you work hard, you play hard, right? You know, nothing ventured, nothing gained. So all these things are true, and my life is just a microcosm of that. So when I engage with an artist, or at this point when I engage with new clients, the first thing I want to know is how bad do you want it? And I can speak to them from a 360 perspective because I am an artist. I have been an artist. I've sold 1 million records. Right? I've been on the radio. I went from intern to senior vice president. I worked at the top 3 major companies in the world. So I know what it means when you say this is what I want. And all I ever wanted to do with music, my cousins in the audience, she can tell you since I was 7 years old, all I ever wanted to do was music. So when I ask you that question, I really want that answer. And funny story, I had a situation with an artist this week. And it was really a situation where one of my clients said, listen, we want to put this record out, but we don't believe in the record. If the artist believes in the record, we'll do it. And I had to look this artist in the eye, we're looking on the phone, and I said, listen, if you're telling me that this is the last record you'll ever want to put out in your life, this is the one you want, we can go get it done. And I couldn't get the artist to commit. So that's what I look for. I look for that never say die. That I think I heard somebody on another panel say, if you're a rapper, you're always rapping. If you're a DJ, you're always DJing. And for me, the business, any piece of it I can touch, I'm always in it. So I want to be in it wherever I can fit, wherever God sees fit to put me. But if it's entertainment, if it's music, if it's marketing, that's what I eat, sleep, and breathe. And I need that from my clients. I need that from the artists that I represent.
I like it. I like it. My next question is for, let me see. I'm going to go with Tom, because I need to learn more about the app, right? So you decided to team up with partners, am I correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And then what made you guys decide that this was the type of app that was needed in the industry?
So the biggest problem we had, I started as an artist 10 years ago, 10 plus.
I don't know,
Can y'all hear me?
Okay.
That better? I started as an artist 10 plus years ago, and my brother, big homie Trap, he was an artist as well, so I got behind him. I said, you know what, his music is powerful, his music is strong, and as a team, as a unit, you get behind one man, help him kick the door open, and we can all run through it. So I got behind him, I started managing him, and the biggest problem that we had was being able to touch a DJ, you know what I'm saying, talk to a DJ, being able to just converse with him, pull up on him and be like, this is my music, you know what I mean, take this, play this. It was, I had to pay $50 to get to a club, or now it's $100 to talk to the DJ, I gotta buy him a drink, now his girl want a drink, so it was like, you know what I mean, it was, getting active with a DJ was the toughest part. And then people had email lists or blast lists where, you know, they said they were sending your music, but you never really know if your music got played. So he called me one day and he was like, look, Lo, I don't even want to rap no more. I want to make apps now. And I was like, what the hell what are you talking about? Right? You know what I mean? So he was like, look, this is the idea. The idea is it's going to be an Uber for music. You know what I mean? We're going to make a way for artists to be able to reach out and touch a DJ without all the hassle of flying state to state, going city to city at the touch of a button. So the app is strictly like an Uber. When you go onto the app, there's a record for every DJ that's available. You click on this DJ's record and it shows you his entire profile for the weekend, where he's playing that Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And it shows you how many slots he has available. So you send your record to this DJ, and upon him approving your record to be played, your money then is held in what we call an escrow. Once he plays your music and sends you video verification of it being played in the club, party, or whatever the venue is, then his money is released. You verify it, he gets his money. You get a verified video of your music being played. So now you got, you know, promo material to post on your IG or your Snap or Facebook or whatever it is that you use. And we figured this would be a useful tool for all artists to be able to reach out to any DJ, you know what I mean? And for DJs to be able to make extra money, and also making the DJs important again. Because that's what's important to music. Like, the jockeys were once the most significant piece of music that you can have. If you can get your music to a DJ who's appreciated, who's loved, who's got a network, then your music can be passed along with no problem.
So that means he just told y'all that's peace of mind for the artists. If you feel like they're not playing your music, download the app, you're going to find out that they are. That's for sure.
On video right internet.
Yes, yes.
Download it now.
Yes.
We got internet in here.
Yes. I wanted to ask Drew, who's from Def Jam. I know some artists might feel like Def Jam is, I don't know, like hard to reach or out there where it is doing what it does. How does a label like Def Jam make effective change in an area like Cleveland or an area like Akron? How do they make effective change in those areas that might feel like you guys are hard to reach?
Well, to answer that question simply with DJs, with Heff, with people like Johnny O that represent us in this market, that find those artists for us. I mean, we had an artist here signed to us not too long ago from Cleveland. So we're not hard to find them. If the numbers are there and you're doing those numbers, they'll find you. You don't have to go looking for them. Trust me. If you got all the components in place where it seems that you are a star, you're a future star, trust me, they're gonna give you a call. We go over this all the time in marketing calls and stuff. We're looking at such and such. They're doing these numbers out in Bucktown, Ohio. I was gonna say Buckeye, but I'm not a Buckeye. Don't boo. No. But no, I mean, trust me, they'll find you. If you're that hot, like I said, I mean, a lot of times I'll come to the city, you have people like A+ that, yo, you need to check out such and such. You need to check this cat out from, whatever, he's doing this. Or like I said, Heff is a big supporter of doing something like that. So, we'll find you.
Well, y'all heard what he said. See, I kind of already know. Like, I work with him all the time, but some artists might feel like they needed that reassurance. Like, you know what I mean? Just like the DJ app, give you reassurance. They should know that there's people in the city like ours and like y'all city where they're attainable. They can be reached. You gotta work for it, but.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not, we're not hard to find. We're all over. And I mean, it's not just in Ohio, it's not just in Michigan, it's definitely just not in New York, Atlanta, LA, it's all over. If you got that music, like right now is a perfect time to come with that hot shit, that hotness, the real music. If you got it, now is a great time to get it out there. But you got to keep making. You can't make a couple of records then stop and think that you've done something. You got to, like Azim said earlier, you got to really want it. You got to work for it. You got to make it happen. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into this, in order for you to get to a statue like I'll take Coco Jones, for instance. Coco Jones came from out of nowhere for a lot of people. I mean, she did her thing earlier in her career with Disney and everything, but then she got with Def Jam, and I mean, we had a couple of records before, but once we got the record, boom, now she's a star, and everybody wants her. Everybody. She got 100 pounds, might be able to get it, but I shouldn't say it. Yeah, well, that's it. You got your hot music, we'll come find you.
So you mentioned A+, who was next to me over here, like they can see you. You're right here. Yeah. And so A+ was right here. I know that everybody here is not from Cleveland, but he is right here in our city doing the radio show, the radio 107.9 and being program manager. So when you think about like our city, Midwest and things like that, how do you address working with the community, and how do you address reaching out to artists who are independent or might consider themselves local, things like that? How do you work towards building a gap?
Well, that's kind of for me, one of my passions being in radio. I've been in radio with the company Radio 1 now, 18 years, and I moved from my hometown of Richmond, Virginia, to St. Louis in 2011, then to Detroit in 2017, and now in Ohio in 2018. Worked in Cincinnati, Columbus, and now Cleveland. In every city I've worked in and lived in, I kind of made it my own thing. It wasn't anything that was like powered by the radio station or like an initiative, forwarded by the radio station, just to kind of be in tune with what's going on in the city that I live in. Whether that's being with, I do Kool-Aid this year. He's from St. Louis. I've known him for about a decade plus now. And, we can attest to me and my guys out there in St. Louis kind of helping expose people to St. Louis artists. At a time when, St. Louis had a big scene in the early 2000s on the national side. But when I got there in 2011, it kind of was another era. So you're looking for that next wave of St. Louis artists, and you know, we tried to really accomplish that when I was there. In 2017, when I moved to Detroit, that's like when T Grizzly first day out had just really came out. And me kind of followed it from St. Louis before I moved there. I knew it was like this whole scene of artists from Sada Baby, Doughboys, Cash Out, and so on and so forth that are really popular in the city, but really hadn't made that connection to the radio. And that was a number of things. One, some of them didn't have the relationships. Two, they would be in the studio and wouldn't make a radio edit when they're in there, you know, finishing the song they really want to push. So it was like kind of educating them on those things. First and foremost, you want to make sure you have a clean version of whatever song you're pushing. And then, like I said, when I moved to Ohio, that was kind of the same mission. Now, granted, I was an on-air personality in St. Louis, an assistant program director in Detroit, and now I'm the program director. So now it's like I have not that much time to do what I love to do like that, but I have a team assembled as well, such as Crisis and other DJs on the staff that will come to me like, yo, you gotta tap in with this artist, this is what's happening right now. And I still like to go do my own research as well, Crisis will tell you. So it's a matter of really staying in tune. If you're not gonna do it yourself, then make sure you assemble a team of people that's gonna be able to help you with that as well.
All right. So I'm gonna give the last question, or we good on time? Okay. So I like to give Dorian this question, if y'all don't mind. Dorian, tell us about how you made a substantial difference in the hip hop industry, in the hip hop genre. Where do you feel that you made the most substantial advancement or difference or contribution?
Truthfully, I've been doing this 30-some years, almost 35 years. The last 2 years, I feel like my company has controlled the songs.
All right now.
The F&F record from Glorilla and Hit Kid, that's my record, my label. I worked it myself. I didn't hire nobody else to go do it. I did every single thing myself. A+ can tell you I called him every day. You know what I'm saying? So like, one thing I learned years ago is if you wanted something done, you gotta put up your own money and do it your fucking self. Because nobody's gonna, we had plenty of options to take that record to labels and all that stuff, but I know being in the system, once you go, what people don't know is they don't tell you about these deals. Once you do these deals, you know, 30 days and 60 days delayed. I knew with the Glorilla record, I didn't have a chance to be delayed. I knew because it was an internet success. When you got internet success, you got to strike right then. So then, for me, I feel like just this year alone, I got 13 gold and platinum records. And yeah. Well, it's 14 now. And then this year 5 Grammy nominations. We had 5. We didn't win, but we got 5 Grammy nominations. So, and again, we independent. We did everything ourselves. We do all the pitching to Apple, Spotify ourselves. We do everything ourselves. We all in-house. We don't. So what we did with the Glorilla record is for the rhythmic side of it, because that's a whole different world. That's a different color beat. So we contracted Interscope out to do that side. Then with the Shibuya record, we contracted Def Jam out to do the rhythmic side of it. But all the urban stuff that's on anything on my label, I do myself. So what I'm telling, my message to any of y'all, man, like especially y'all young people, when somebody telling you can't do something, somebody telling you it's whack, I'm 48, don't let no 48-year-old nigga tell you your music is whack. It ain't for them anyway. It's not for people 35 and up. It's for a different generation. So what I'm gonna tell y'all, bro, I never took, A+ will tell you, I call him every week and ask for a record. Every week. You know, sometimes he don't respond, sometimes he do respond. Boom! But I'm gonna tell y'all, you can't be disrespectful. You can't be disrespectful when he tell you no, nah, I ain't got no space. You gotta call him again next week. Because I knew I'm gonna get a record hot enough that he gonna be calling me saying, hey, I need Glorilla to come do the summer jam. That's what happened. I'm like, hey, nigga, you know I need that record. Poppin' too, shit. So like you gotta just keep going, and man, and the more you build your success, the more you build your, like, I've been doing this forever, and I had a lot. If y'all follow me on Instagram, I probably got 300 gold and platinum records in my house. And
Can't even see the paint.
but the bigger you become, the more people support you. So when you're at the bottom, man, you ain't getting, I'm gonna be honest with you, you ain't getting no support, but that don't mean it ain't making it. You gotta keep grinding. When you keep grinding, people gonna jump on the, just like the Deion Sanders, they gonna jump on the bandwagon. Once they jump on the bandwagon, you get what you need, and you better put some money up, because this shit it's gonna run dry. But man, just grind. Like, I wake up every morning, I wanna say this too before we leave up here. Any of y'all, I'm gonna tell any of y'all, if you're in this music business, if you're not putting 20 hours, anywhere from 16 to 20 hours a day into this business, go get a job. This business is 16 to 20 hours a day. If you go work a job for 8 hours a day and you don't put at least 8 hours a day into your career, it's not gonna work. It's not instant, it's not fast. Ain't nobody up here has a secret button to make nobody successful, regardless of how much success any of us done had. We don't have no magical button. If you're not willing to grind 16 to 20 hours a day, I sign hustlers over talent. I don't give a fuck about your talent. I sign hustlers. Anybody that's on my label is all hustlers. If you can't hustle, I'm not signing. I don't give a fuck how good you can rap or sing.
You better say that.
That don't mean shit.
You better say that.
We live in a world now where the best and the dopest don't mean shit. So, I'm sorry, y'all, I don't want to take up all your time.
But we did learn that you have plaque wallpaper. We understand.
Black wallpaper, yeah, that's incredible. I want to just piggyback off of what Dorian said, and really three things. One, his last point about being dope. Russell Simmons said this 30 years ago. The best rapper ain't a rapper, the best DJ ain't a DJ, the best quarterback ain't a quarterback, right? What happens is people get fatigued and life happens. Those of us who've taken the journey and are stay on the grind, those are the guys who make it. So that's the first thing. No grind, no shine. Second thing I want to say is that if you don't put your time into your dreams, somebody else will pay you to build theirs. And I can speak to that because I spent 25 years building other people's dreams and making other people rich. Thankfully, I'm young enough to not do it for myself. The last thing I want to say, and I heard this earlier, you just said this as well. The word no is an invitation to keep working. Please, everybody, the word no is an invitation to keep working. Because once somebody tells you no, you have two options. You either quit or you keep going. So please, don't take no as discouragement. Take no as encouragement. Take no as motivation. Take no as your opportunity to take a look inside the man or woman in the mirror and say, what am I not doing? Why can't I get this right? It might not be a time. And the last thing I'm gonna say is this. Every overnight success is 10 years in the making. We just heard of Glorilla, but she's been grinding. You might have just heard of Johnny O and Source Recruit. They're 40 years deep. But the point I'm making is that it takes a long time to get where you're going. There's 7 billion people on the planet. All of us who are trying, you populating over there, Spurs? We are trying to get less than 1% of those people to buy into our visions and our dreams. Less than 1%, that's all you need to become a change maker, to become legendary, to become global. So take that, please. Again, thank you for having me. I appreciate being here.
Hey, also too, y'all, share your success. When you're successful, you're going gold and platinum and winning stuff, send the DJs they plaques. I am probably the only person out here still doing that. A+ got a plaque, Heff got a plaque, Johnny O got a plaque. I send out plaques with any of my artists go gold and plaque. So any artist in here, any label owners, when you're successful, share it. Because just when you go up, what goes up must come down. So I want to have a soft landing when I fall.
Just what Dorian said, we did yesterday. So we gave all the love and flowers to those people who've been in and out of our lives. So we put them on shine. So when I woke up this morning, I'm sure when a lot of y'all woke up, your timelines was flooded with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So it all worked. The promotion works. So when he said share it, everybody shared it. So everybody seen on Instagram was Nerve DJs, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The shit worked. So salute to you. Thank you, sir. to say something because I ain't said shit all day. I just, go ahead, what's your question? No, I just wanted to say to all the artists out here, man, never, don't be scared to leave home to accomplish your dreams. Like, this is like they saying it's work, it's work. Like, shit, I started working at Epic in May. 2 weeks later, I went on the road and I ain't come home for 6 weeks. So for 6 weeks. So I shout out to MDG in here. He been on the road with me a couple of weeks. Yeah, my boy. But all I do is just work. So don't be afraid to leave home to accomplish your dreams.
Now, have you actually kind of, read my mind, you actually mentioned something that I was going to ask you in respect to maybe on the flip side of it, in artists feeling like they need to move to go up, right? And so you kind of said something a little different. You said don't be afraid to leave out, and you go on road for 6 weeks and then you're back, you grind here for who knows how long, and then you're back on the road. And so my question would have been a little bit about like, how has that been effective and successful for you, where you did stay in your city, but you've been able to be successful with how you work things?
Man, I went out on the road, man. I learned every market. I learned, if anybody know me, they gonna see me in Detroit 6 or 8 times a year, in St. Louis 6 or 8 times a year. I've been to St. Louis 10 times this year already. So, been to Atlanta 4 times, been to Miami 5 times. So I'm gonna be in every city. And in every city, I just build great relationships, so I'm the same away as I am at home. So I know what clubs to go to, where to go to, how to move in each city. And through time, I just, if I'm in Detroit, I had the Icewear Vezos, the Doughboys Cash Outs, Cash Talk. I had all of them before when they came on the road with me. Same thing in St. Louis, like every city, Chicago, whatever. But I'm outside, I ain't going back inside till I get about 10, 20 more plaques on my wall too.
Yeah, plaque wallpaper, that's what we're going for, plaque wallpaper. A plus, I got a question for you, staying in that same lane. If I'm an artist, and I'm from Cleveland, but I find out that like, I seem to have a big following in St. Louis, or I seem to have a big following in Vegas. As someone who's the program director at my home radio, what's your advice to me? Like, I clearly got to work those markets, but then how do I wrap around the other markets and back to my own?
Make sure you're visible in your home market. Make sure you touch the people in your home market. Make sure that story that you're telling in those other cities also can reflect back, whether that's pulling up on the DJs in the club here or having a meeting with myself. I try to make myself available. So those are the things you have to take, those steps you have to take to make sure you tie all those things together.
And to kind of touch up on that question as well, like, I'm outside, like, so I think that the number one thing as an artist, y'all gotta first off, y'all gotta get that entitlement out y'all heart. Like, y'all gotta get that shit out y'all heart. Like, I done came across a lot of artists who might be having some sort of buzz and they fuck it over. No shit, no disrespect, I don't wanna be the only one cussing up here, but they fuck up their opportunity because they feel like they deserve or they entitled to some sort of so what, you got 30,000 views, so what? That don't mean shit right now, bro. It's so many other artists out here putting in pain, putting in work. I think that you just gotta stop being so cool and just be open to talking and open to being willing to work with anybody and willing to listen when you talk to a Plus or you talk to a Heff or you talk to any of these gentlemen up here and they give you some sort of some sort of criticism. You can take it in and you can abide that to your career and don't take it to heart. That might not just be the record for you, you feel me? And if you just stay cool and you stay down to earth, you stay on your shit, you stay in your lane with your music, I think you gon' pop. And that goes to anybody in here, you feel me? I'm not easy or I'm not hard to find. So if you just keep coming to me with records, eventually you gonna have something I vibe and pass to, you feel me? So that's my thought on that.
I want to say something to that. So me being a label owner, independent label owner, if I want to get Cleveland, if I sign an artist in Cleveland, I wouldn't go to A+ first. I would go to Cincinnati, I would go to Columbus, I would go to Chicago, Detroit. I would gather all these spins, these other markets away from my city. Then by the time I see A+ in a month and a half, 2 months, I show them, hey, I got media-based spins in all of these markets. Hey, bro, you should support me. At that point, I can't speak for him, but he really don't. This is how I work my records. Any artist, I never go to their hometown first, because what people don't understand, radio stations sell advertising. They don't give a fuck about your music. They sell McDonald's commercials and car wreck commercials. So at any point, if they playing Lil Pookie too goddamn much and people changing the channel, they losing advertising dollars. So what you gotta do is come to that. You gotta come to him because there's a million niggas in Cleveland rap or singing. So if he play your record and he ain't playing the other niggas, he walk in the club and they nigga busting him probably here with the bottle. Because he's like, damn, nigga, I'm hot too. Why you playing my shit? He got to be able to explain to his his bosses, this is the reason we're playing this. Because Chicago is supporting it, Atlanta is supporting it, Miami is supporting it. It's on the national mix show across these places. You gotta have a lot of research. You gotta have your Spotify for artists, your Apple for artists, your Pandora for artists, your Amazon for artists, so you can show them your Shazams and show them all of this research that go with that.
When it comes to media, though, specifically and just radio, because you're talking about that, and Dorian's absolutely right. Radio's not in the music business; they're in the advertising business. But guess what? Nobody's in the music business except for the artists and the managers. Streaming companies are in the what? Subscription business. They want you to pay that $9.99, $10.99, whatever that is, and stream it. They got playlists for being calm and talk shows and podcasts. That ain't the music business, right? All the social media companies, what business are they in? They're not in the music business. They're in the advertising business. They want you to put up content so they can go put a Coke commercial or a Pepsi commercial or a beer commercial next to your content so they can make money. Even the distribution companies are not in the music business. You know what business they're in? They're in the volume business. They put out, I think the last number was like 50,000 records a day. Globally, 50,000 records every day. So Azim from Cleveland, what makes you so special? That your one song is going to penetrate the entire ecosystem of the music business. So remember, everybody is not in the music business. You're in the music business. Your team is in the music business. What you're trying to do is get other people to be in business with your music.
Now I hope y'all are learning. I'm trying to ask the right questions so that the artists know how this is working. Like, how does this all come together? Like Azim said, an ecosystem. So I'm gonna go to Drew, and I hope this all makes sense. So I asked Heff about like staying in town, going out of town. I asked A+, like, if I realize my markets are popping out here, how do I get back to you? And then Dorian told us, don't even go to A+, prove to him. You know what I'm saying? Prove to him that you popping everywhere else. So I do know that, you know, being independent is important and popular and it works too. But then you have like the machine, well, what people call the machine. Def Jam, right? It's a machine. So if I've done all of these things, and now I'm wondering, how do I get signed, or how does this connect me to getting signed? What's the machine doing now? Like, where's the machine falling into this equation and starting to put their ear to the ground?
We take it to the next level. I mean, we take it a step further. I mean, now granted, a lot of the work has to be done. You're not gonna just walk in and say, yeah, I'm the hottest rapper in Cleveland, sign me. No, that's not gonna happen. As everybody has said on here, there's a lot of research, there's a lot of numbers, there's a lot of things that go into that. There's a lot of, you know, information from radio stations, there's a lot of information from DJs, there's a lot of information from other people that make that work in order for the machine to be able to do their part. Once you get to that point, then you think you put in work before, that's when the work really begins. You really have to get to the grind now.
And what are those challenges? So the machine has decided they like me, but they want to see more out of me. Well, now what's the challenge? It's probably me, right? Because I got to step my game up.
Plain and simple. Plain and simple. You got to take that. You got to be ready you got to be ready when that time comes. If you're not, there's a lot. Well, I'm not gonna say you're gonna get dropped or anything. But there's a lot that goes into that.
Right. What's some of the examples? Maybe Dorian about to say some of the examples that I should be doing.
So one of the number one things that when you do get signed, when they give you that $250,000, $500,000, or $1 million, that is not to buy a new Ferrari. That's where every artist makes mistakes at. That is for you to develop a team to help you push. There's not one artist that's signed to a Def Jam, to an Interscope, to a Republic, to a Warner Brothers, that if they didn't have their own team, they wouldn't be successful. On top of what the machine that y'all call it is doing, if you're not taking the money that they gave you to help the process, your ass is stuck. Because what labels do is, what they do is, not, there's no disrespect to any label. Because I'm a part of the system. We take a bunch of shit, we throw it up against the wall, and see which one sticks. So if you didn't take that $250,000 and help us put some glue on the wall, your ass going back to the projects. And with nothing. So what you got to do is, so one of the things I look for, like when I sign artists, because I have partnerships with Republic, and so I have what you call an in the middle deal. I can go through any branch of Universal, which I don't know, yeah. So I can go through Universal, Def Jam, Motown, Capitol. So, but you gotta also know what works for you. If you are an R&B singer, 9 times out of 10, you don't want to be on a label that don't handle R&B. But see, a lot of us are so happy to get a deal in a name that we just go anywhere and then we like, damn, they don't know what the fuck they doing. So you gotta know, for me, if Republic, which is my number one partners, they're big at pop music. So you don't want to take a street artist there, because you take a street artist to a pop label, you don't know, they don't have a relationship with the Heffs and all these people that they need to talk to, because we all know each other. We have conference calls weekly, so we all know each other. So you got to find out what system works for you. So a lot of us take these deals that come for us, then you see they drop. And so what happens too is once you get dropped, it's hard to bounce back. There's very few artists that's been dropped from a label that bounce back, so you gotta be careful of the deal you take. And remember, the advance is not the new Ferrari money. It is to put into your career for you to go hire Johnny O or Big Heff, one of these guys up here, to be your consultant, to show you how to move through the system. So with all of my deals is, I spend my money. So what happens at a major label, at a Def Jam, at a Republic, any of these places, I spend my money. If it's working, they reimburse me. If that shit don't work, ain't no reimbursement. But I believe in myself. So you have to show them results, because this man right here is probably working 10 records a month. And if you sign to Def Jam, it's 10 artists already in front of you that's making money. How do you get to that priority list? They ain't gonna tell you the secret, but I'm gonna tell you the secret. We have these conference calls. And we decide what is our number 1 priority, our number 2 priority, and our number 3 priority.
Do you give it too much away, man? Come on.
No, I gotta tell you people, man, 'cause they go sign these deals and they wonder why this shit ain't working. We know what the priorities are. Because our bosses, whoever's in charge of us, done gave us our priority, and the priorities are who's streaming the most. Whoever doing that $1 million a day in streaming is the priority, not the dopest motherfucker. So if you're not a priority, because A+ only got 30 slots on his radio station. Chris Brown got 5 of them. Future got 10 of them. Drake got 10 of them. We only got 5 slots left. How we gonna play Lil Pookie? So how we gonna convince him to drop a Future record, which won't come out of fucking number 1? The fucking Future record with Tim's won't go away. So how we gonna convince him? So he got 10 priorities, he got 10 priorities, RCA got 10 priorities, but they only narrowed it down to 3. So I gotta call this man and 200 other motherfuckers just like him and beg him to, hey man, I know you got this 12 Future records, you don't got but 1 spot. Man, I'm running 8 in Power, man, I can't move your record to Power. But man, I need this record. So y'all gotta really understand that this is a business, man. This is not about I'm doping this person. And build your numbers up, and when you get that advance, find you one of these guys up here who understands the system that can help you walk through the system. Because a lot of us try to tackle the system and don't know the business. And then we get knocked down. These guys up here know the business. You gotta get with one of these guys that understand, and there's plenty more guys like this in every city that understand the business. So get you somebody that can help you walk you through the plays. If you don't got nobody on your team, on your label, your management, your manager just got off at Burger King, he trying to help you with your career, that shit ain't gonna work. It's not the same. I'm sorry, I ain't gonna talk y'all through that.
Well, the one thing I want to add, man, is that I see a lot of artists fail because they fail to build a team. So you got to take that manager role. Your manager's supposed to have connections and plays for you, bro. They got to be able to open up a situation to build you a fan base, build you an audience, and get you some attention. A lot of niggas do not have that. They have a friend managing them in their career. Like literally, they'll get a deal. 8 months later, they'll get dismissed or released. And they in the red, so they can't even sign with no other label, they can't sign with nobody else. So build your team and make sure the people that you got around you are effective. Because once this shit click and they go right, like you go to your 2000, like I had an artist Sleazy World go last year. We literally started, he had all his homeboys around him. I told him on day number 2, this shit ain't gonna work. Island just gave you $3 million, bro. They not gonna have idiots around you the whole time, for sure. So, we went through the phase of the $2,000 shows to getting up to $30,000. We was doing it 4 times a week. That's a lot of money. And if you ain't got no right people around you, they gonna spend all of that money. It's gonna be gone. So, and I see that. Go ahead, Drew.
No, I was just, it was 2 things I was gonna say. That's one of them. You gotta have a team. You have to have a solid team. A team that believes in you as well as you believe it. But first you have to believe in yourself. But if you have a team that believes in you just as much, oh my God, the possibilities are out of here. But you gotta have a team. You can't do this on your own. I've been in this business going on 30 years next year. And I've always been a part of a great team. I did nothing on my own.
Nobody doing it on their own?
Look, Nobody.
Lies.
Nobody. If you know somebody that's doing it on, show them to me right now. But you have to have a team. And everybody has to play their role. You know what I'm saying? You have to have, that's the one thing. Then the other thing, Dorian saying, look, I have to fight for space with this guy, and I work for Def Jam. So if I have to fight for a record to get on, come on, man, what you think you gonna do? I'm not saying that you ain't putting in the work, but it all goes back to putting in the work and doing what you have to do in order to get to the place where you need to be and where you want to be.
One of the guys I worked for a long time, he knows, Leo Cohen said this. Labels do not make stars. What do, Drew? They sign stars. They polish them up. They gloss it. It's like Dorian said, you come in, you got to do 0 to 5. What a label's supposed to do, whether it's an independent label or a major company, they take you 5 to 10. But you got to come in with something. And a good friend of mine tells me not to do this, but I have to say it, and I want everybody to do, because this is my own story. Everything ain't for everybody. See, the music business is the only business that I know of where you can just say you can and you can do it. You want to be a doctor? Gotta go to med school. Want to be a lawyer? Gotta go to law school. You want to be a DJ? You gotta learn how to mix. You gotta go to Nerve DJ Institute right here in Cleveland, Ohio. Go see Johnny Yo. If you want to play sports, you want to play football, you got to go through Pee Wee, college, even, they got the USFL, all that, right? The music business is the only business where people accept a lie. You give me a record, and I tell you it's the dopest thing I've ever heard, you will literally hand me a bag of money. The minute that I tell you that it ain't hot, oh, you know what the fuck you talking about. Yo, you're right. Because you don't want to hear the truth. You want to be validated by your own self-image. And guess what? I wasn't the best rapper, so you know what I said? I can promote. I got book smarts. I can go back to college. I had a 7-year career as an artist, and I've sold 1 million records, be clear. a 7-year career as an artist, selling 1 million records, but I've had now almost a 30-year career as an executive. So take inventory. When you run around with 20 people on your crew, you know what? He's good at hanging with, with driving the car. And she's good with merch, and he's good at social media. And you know what? He assigned somebody a task. Everybody got to work. We was on the show. Shout out to Scotty ATL. He had this tour going on, the Show You Real tour. And we were talking the other day. And so, well, you guys only get 2 passes. I said, well, I got 6 people. So we don't need all these things. I said, no. Everybody here got a job. That's the manager, he with the label, that's the hype man, that's the cameraman, that's security. Everybody here getting a check. Ain't no crew, this is the staff, right? And if you're not dealing like that, then you're not thinking about this the right way. The last thing I'll say when it comes to management, there has to be something to manage. Your good looks and your talk, that ain't managing. You gotta have something to sell. Somebody has to want to do something. And if you're an artist and you're in your shell and you can't put yourself out here, listen, thank God I was a rapper in the 80s and 90s when I didn't have all the social media. I might not have made it. But now, being a personality is almost, if not more important than your music. I like what he said, hustlers. Guess what? A hustler with a good record is better than a dope artist who's scared to get on camera. Hey. A hustler with a good record is better than a dope artist who's scared to get on camera, because we live in a social media era. You are now on Ed TV. Y'all look the movie up, Ed TV. 24/7, you're on. And if you're scared to be on 24/7, this ain't the game for you. I could be here all day, I'm sorry.
I hope y'all took them nuggets, because I'm not an artist and I know everything now. This is great. But I assume that you can always wrap it up in a nutshell with LeBron. Like, he had friends. Rich Paul was trapping out his trunk on St. Clair with Jerry.